everyone. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right on in. We're still working on that middle chunk of the list. Last time we dropped off, it was we were last on number 79. So today we're going to jump into at number 78. We've officially entered the blockbuster section of the list. Number 78 is The Sixth Sense. Came out in 1999. This one, I mean, what else is there to say? This is the M. Night Shyamalan, first came out and wowed everybody. All the performances are lovely. It has a little bit of everything. There's atmosphere, there's a love story, there's a mother-son story. There's just a little bit of everything in this movie. And then it's the original, M. Night Shyamalan at his best. So it's a lot to love about that movie, and I certainly do. So number 77 is the original Jurassic Park, 1993. Now, Jurassic Park is really interesting. Well, it's really important to my family because my baby brother, who's not a baby now, was at peak dinosaur age when this movie first came out, and it kind of defined him for a little while. And so in my brain, he's always going to be my little brother who loves dinosaurs. So they keep releasing more and more of these movies, and it's always in the summer, which is when his birthday is. So guess what I'm doing every summer for my brother's birthday? Whenever there's a Jurassic Park movie out, I take my little brother to go see Jurassic Park. By the way, if anybody would be interested in having my brother come on the channel and sharing his list and maybe seeing if we have anything in common on the list, etc., just let me know in the comments. I think that would be really interesting, something that potentially we might have in the works. Moving on. Number 76 is X-Men Days of Future Past from 2014. X-Men is another IP that I love and adore, and I could never in a million years just pick one favorite X-Men movie. But I picked Days of Future Past because the story arc Days of Future Past from the comics and also from the 90s animated series that I grew up loving, and also in this movie, even though they made some changes to it, but I can live with it. It's one of my favorite story arcs in all of X-Men, and also in this movie you have a little bit of both. You're able to enjoy some of the original cast from the earlier X-Men movies from the early 2000s, as well as the new class, which they're all excellent. So and then plus it's just kind of a fun movie, so that's why I picked this one to represent all of X-Men for me on this list. But I am a massive X-Men fan, and again, they would all be on the list mostly if I had my way. Anyway, moving on to number 75, Modern Times, 1936. I told you there would be another Charlie Chaplin, and here it is. Just like all of Charlie Chaplin's movies, they're of course hilarious. He acts in them, he directs them, he edits them, he scores them. And then specifically speaking of score, the movie Modern Times introduces the song Smile, which is one of my all-time favorites. So I enjoy it on a lot of levels, but of course it is very funny. It has a very sweet love story. It's just a little bit of everything, and I love that about it. Okay, so number 74 is 500 Days of Summer, 2009. I mean, this is another one of those movies that it's I'm not exactly sure what made me watch it, other than I really like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I just thought, I hadn't seen him in something in a while, and I was just curious. But you know what? I absolutely love watching him sing the Pixies in this movie. It gets me every time. So I just got really into rewatching it. Okay, so moving on to number 73, that's Pan's Labyrinth, 2006. I believe this might be my only Spanish language entry on the list, but Guillermo del Toro totally delivers. This movie is such a hodgepodge because it is technically a kid's fairy tale, but it's so dark and so grisly and gruesome, but beautiful to look at, and it just has two very different worlds in the story. Anyway, it's a great movie. I love to watch it. So much fun. Number 72 is A League of Their Own from 1992. I mean, this is just your classic, fun to watch, like line after line of like famous, quotable, memeable scenes and lines and quotes. It's great. It's really funny. And I mean, Gina Davis is awesome. Everybody in it is awesome. Tom Hanks, everyone's hilarious. And is a fully stacked cast. It is so much fun to watch. Okay, moving on to, I think that might also be the second baseball movie. I know that I think about it on the list. That was definitely not intentional nor expected. But moving on to number 71, which is Spaceballs from 1987. Here again, we have a repeat director. This is another Mel Brooks entry, meaning, of course, that it is absolutely hilarious. But I mean, this one's like a no-brainer between being like Mel Brooks, which is, of course, genius, and then it's a Star Wars parody. I mean, I love Star Wars, so that's a no-brainer that I'm gonna like have a soft spot in my mind for it, in my heart for this movie, and I do. All right, number 70 is Legend, 1985. Okay, so here's the deal about Legend. Honestly, 85% of it's just not that good a movie. It's just, it's whatever. But Tim Curry is the tentpole of this movie. He absolutely carries it. He's not on screen for very long, but his performance and his like visual interpretation are so incredible that like I will sit through an entire mediocre movie just to be able to spend a few minutes of screen time with him because he's so wonderful. So if you have never seen Legend, please do yourself a favor and at least just get the clips with Tim Curry because he's so good. This is, by the way, notably one of Tom Cruise's first feature-length movies. He is not the star of this movie. It is Tim Curry all the way. All right, moving on. Number 69, Edward Scissorhands, 1990. So this is like peak early Tim Burton. Also, as far as I'm concerned, like peak early Johnny Depp. It's such a good, sweet little movie. And it's, as much as it seems like it's really an oddball premise, it's actually really sort of like stereotypical, like archetype actually. The whole like social outcast, Frankenstein's monster type of story. It's lovely. I really enjoy it. But the performances are all lovely, and it's just like one of those movies that you just kind of watch over and over and over again. All right, number 68. This is Gremlins from 1984. I put the original Gremlins on my list. I kind of feel that the sequel, it's probably more fun to watch because of all the mutated gremlins. But there again, the mutated gremlins are basically the tentpole of the movie, and then they just kind of shoehorned in the rest of the plot, which is kind of typical of like those kinds of sequels. But the original stands firm all by itself. It's a lot of fun to watch. I recently took Sebastian to go see it for the first time in theater, which was great. So that one's probably going to be in my heart for many, many years to come, if for no other reason, because I shared it with my son. Okay, I think we can probably just kind of stop right there. We'll pick it up at number 67 next time. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe out there. Bye.